Alrighty, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. It seems the computer had its own little...
Whoever said Captain Coop was good with technology?
sadly wrong. Had a nice little, apparently, update. The computer just decided to do its own thing. So I apologize about that, but we're back.
Moron.
It was funny. We were sitting here thinking about, once I realized that it had actually shut off, like when we come back, do we just like start off exactly where we left it and just... Something's off here.
That felt weird.
But so continuing where we left off, when you're looking at that support stuff, you're looking at that three people. You know, who are my three? How do I? Who are my three people that I could use for that? And when I look at my support, that's what I look for. You were saying something about it not being your wife. If you're confident.
Yeah, my wife wouldn't be my confidant because she would sugarcoat it. My best man would be happy to tell me
Take joy in
that
it.
I'm a moron.
Yeah. But, you know, when you're looking at that stuff and you're talking about the basics of that support staff and the basics of what you need, that support staff and the way I look at it, those three people are key. You know, I can call that person at 3 a.m. no matter what's going on, and they're going to help me no matter what. I've got that 6 p.m. friend that if I need something during a certain time frame, I know that he's going to answer. Without question, he's going to help. I just know that they're going to go to sleep, and they like to rest. And then I've got my confidant. It's just having those, and then if you can find someone who can meet two of those, it's even better.
I'd say I would meet two of them for you. I would, depending on what it would be. I could be the 3 a.m., but I'm most likely the 6. But I'm absolutely confident I will happily tell you you're a moron.
You are. I'll tell you this: you're not the confidant, but you're somebody that I would classify as someone who could be there. Because there's one person in particular that is absolutely my confidant.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody in this office questions who that would be.
Yeah, and no matter what, that person will absolutely look at me and go, "You're stupid."
Yeah,
and no hesitation, no
in front of everyone, take some joy out of it.
Absolutely, but you're absolutely. I'll openly admit, and it's frustrated me sometimes that I have looked at you and I've brought something that I'm struggling with personally, and I brought you in on it, and absolutely frustrated me of your mindset and your viewpoint, because it's one of those, you're just like, how does this person who's younger than me?
I have said multiple times that I should have gone into therapy.
You should be in therapy. Oh, you meant like a therapist. I got you. My bad.
No, both. Both. There's probably some therapy needed here.
But, you know, when you're looking at that stuff, that you have to be able to have that stuff.
Having an outside perspective is key.
100%.
Self-reflection.
100%. And it's always that outside reflection, having that come from a friend, somebody that you trust, and somebody that is going to tell you whether you like the answer or not. You know, you can't have somebody sugarcoat it. It has to be blunt. It has to be the unedited truth. And having that, it's fantastic. It changes everything.
Otherwise, you live in an echo chamber and you will never grow.
Yep. Surrounded by yeses is not a way to live.
No.
But, you know, so focus on those things. Find those people. Find those. And like I said, if it's more than 3, it's more than 3 of them. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I have about 4 people that I could count on that fit a few of those roles. I probably have more than that. But I know that there are 4 in particular, without a shadow of a doubt, that qualify for those roles.
I think we would all be surprised at how many 3 a.m.s we actually have. And we don't realize it until that 3 a.m. actually comes. Because in my head, I'm sitting there going, yeah, everybody in the office is probably 6 p.m. But I think everybody in the office is probably a 3 a.m. if I actually called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, everybody knows I am. I don't sleep enough to not be, so.
3.5 hours a night is,
4.
Oh, wow.
I get an extra half hour.
Splurging.
Extra half hour. I got 5 last night. Wow. Yeah, it was great.
Don't know
what to do with myself.
I'm getting sleep deprived thinking about it.
But, working on those essential skills, the de-escalation, communication, knowing your support, the support role, like support that you have outside of work, having that stuff, managing high-stress situations, those are so far of the basics that impact everything we do so much that you have to be. It's worth going over and over and over these things because it's always start from the ground, work your way up on those, and keep that stuff in mind.
And there's different ways to handle different high stress situations.
Absolutely.
When I was working out in the field and I was dealing with high stress situations that were in the moment, physical, I deal with those just fine. I have no problem with that. I get into the office and I get bombarded with work and I'm getting overwhelmed. That's when I start shutting down, is when it's mental high stress rather than physical.
Physical high stress, and this again depends on the person, but like you, physical high stress, I can deal with all day long. Every day, all day, doesn't bother me one bit. My body will figure a way through it.
Yep.
It will go until it stops going, like completely stops going. Mental stress is a whole different beast. That's something that's way harder to deal with. And I've been, personally, I've been a supervisor with Titan for 10 years, give or take.
You're old.
Yeah. Might be 9 or 10. I've been a supervisor so long. Even I struggle with that mental high stress. It doesn't matter who you are, because that is probably one of the most difficult parts to deal with. It's because it's not a physical thing. There's no physical response to it. It's all mental stimulation, and that is extremely difficult if you don't have somebody you can turn to and you don't have that confidant. That right there will save all kinds of stress on you.
This is the first time I've been introduced to that level of high mental stress. And there was a massive learning curve that I was mostly doing on my own. And then I added one more hat to the mix, and I started crumbling over the course of a couple of days, and people noticed. Oh, it was noticeable.
Oh, yeah.
I shut down. And it only took me like 4 or 5 hours to actually kick out of it, but it took 4 or 5 hours of sitting there not thinking about it.
Dealing with it. Yeah.
Not thinking about it, relaxing, resetting my brain, and then locking in.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing with that mental stress, dude, is it's so hard to deal with. It's not something you can just like push to the side. It's so much different than a physical stress. Physical stress you can manage, you can deal with, you can move through. Mental stress, there's no moving through that. You've got to deal with it.
It's going to sit in the back of your mind if you
the entire
let
time.
It linger.
Yep.
If I had waited more than 5 hours, it would have started bugging me again, and I would have started freaking out because I'm actually not dealing with it. It was mostly scheduling, as I had I had 57 shifts to cover on a Friday alone, and I only had like 33 officers. I was panicking. And over the course of 2 days, all I was doing was making cold calls, trying to get people to pick up shifts. And it was taking a mental toll on me, and I shut down. And taking that time to reset my brain, rethink about some things, it took me maybe another 24 hours, and I got everything covered. I just needed to relax and start thinking things through and not panicking like the way I was.
It's learning how to deal with the curve of that mental stress that you've never had to deal with before. So, and then it's also using the tools that you have, using the additional resources and other people, and leaning on that stuff.
Yep.
That's why it's so important.
Figuring that out was I turned to Captain Coop and having Bassett call some of his guys as well. But without those resources, I don't think I ever would have gotten those ships covered.
I remember that day. Can you work? I mean, yeah, I can. Help. Okay, I got
please.
you. Hold on.
I had Coop, Voss. I had I think 3 of the lieutenants working. It was
everybody on deck.
Everybody on deck. Thank you all very much. Major Kavist went out in the fields. Oh gosh, that was
it was a entertaining day.
Yeah, and then the next week I had like 50 shifts on a Friday.
Yep.
And
it's easy.
I had gone through it before, so I was like, okay,
it's fine.
7 less people I need. Great. Okay.
Wait. You're telling me I'm getting a break and there's 7 less? Dude, let's go. Got this. So, but keep that stuff in mind and go back to your basics. Always, no matter what, go back to those basics. Make sure that you're continuing to learn on that stuff. You're leaning on those people, your confidant, your 3 a.m., your 6 p.m., leaning on that crew, because that's what's going to make you successful. That's what's going to help build you. Having those resources and then keeping up with those basics. That those alone will throw you so far forward into leadership. It's not even funny. Having that stuff will absolutely set you apart like that, instantaneously.
Not only will it get your foot in the door and get you noticed, but you will take leaps and bounds in our industry in particular if you've got the basics down pat.
Absolutely. So we're going to hop over into the weather, and then we will let you guys enjoy your weekend, since we had to double back on this one. But so what we're looking at is 72 for today. It's actually been a rather nice day. Saturday, we're looking at 76 and sunny, 78 on Sunday and sunny. Monday, 78, partly cloudy. Tuesday's 80, getting back into the 80s on Tuesday. Oof. Heat wave. Wednesday, we're at 70. Thursday, 67. Friday, 75. Saturday, 78. So we're kind of floating in that warm, not warm type area. So make sure that you guys are dressing appropriately and taking anything you need to keep yourself from getting sick, because this is the easiest time to get it, because the temperature fluctuates so randomly and so sporadically and so much every day. If you're not taking care of yourself, it's a good way to get sick. So please take care of yourselves, guys. Stay safe out there. We appreciate everything you guys do. Remember, hydration is key. Hydration is the day before, not the day of. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. We'll let you guys get to it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and have fun.